Through the early months, your baby is totally dependent on you for her very survival. Most parents will have at least some moments of feeling frightened, overwhelmed, or burdened by the intensity of their baby's vulnerability and neediness. Her intensity can expose you to your own feelings of rawness, vulnerability, and need for dependence at such an intense time. It's easy to get sucked into the intensity of your baby's neediness and lose sight of your adult perspective. If you over-identify with your baby's neediness, it can feel as though her vulnerability, and perhaps your own, will last forever. This can be overwhelming, as it can feel as though her demands will never be satisfied. It's important to hold on to your adult position and remind yourself that this level of intense dependency is a time-limited phase and that it will become easier. Your baby will become more resilient and find small but increasing amounts of autonomy with each passing month. And as she masters this, you will also increase in your confidence as you settle into your role. Alternatively, you could experience a desire to cut yourself off from your baby's vulnerability, where you fail to recognise the extent of her littleness and neediness. This in turn means that you can also deny how vulnerable you might feel. So you might see her as bigger and more capable than what she is, convincing yourself that she should be able to settle herself without your help, or last a bit longer between feeds to allow you to rest or get things done. When she can't manage this, you might feel annoyed or resentful because she's failed to meet your expectations and reminds you of how much she needs your help. Take a look at the expectations you hold of your baby and try to see whether they are realistic. Remind yourself, particularly in those early months, that she's very little and needs your help. If you provide the help she needs, she will not stay intensely dependent on you forever. Babies who have their needs met responsively and sensitively in those early months grow in confidence and are able to feel secure in their relationships. This in turn helps give them the security and confidence to explore their world and gradually become more independent. Now, in all the instances that we've outlined in this little podcast, where it's difficult to be mindful, ruptures can and will occur. Ruptures occur when there is a misunderstanding or a disconnection. Now, all relationships have ruptures, but what is important, as we said in the last podcast, is to not catastrophise when a rupture occurs. It's not a disaster. If we are aware when a rupture occurs, we can think about it and then an attempt at a repair can be made. Repairing a rupture involves acknowledging what you think went wrong and then have another go at it, which encourages that reconnection.